Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Tayo Salam. Many thanks for joining us again.
Right, we'll start the show with Nigeria Professional Football League, where Kano Pillars retain back on top of the table after they won their game by a lone goal against Nasarawa United. But this evening, Akwa United will be in action against Abia Warriors away from home. We'll see if they can reclaim the top spot if they win that game today.
All right. Also on Sport This Morning, UEFA Champions League. No, Europa League champions are Villarreal. Villarreal defeated Manchester United 11-10 on penalties to win their first ever major trophy.
Yeah, a city of 50,000 people are celebrating this morning because
Incredible
David De Gea just, a lame, tame penalty gave Villarreal the trophy. Also in the program, yes, to talk about the NBA. New York Knicks, for the first time since 2013, they got a playoff game win.
Wow, fantastic victory indeed for the New York Knicks, 101-92 against the Atlanta Hawks, and they have been able to tie the series 1-1. In the Eastern Conference first round.
And that's where we're starting off the show this morning, talking about the NBA, the playoff games, about 3 games decided early hours of this morning. Let's take a look at the results before we talk about our style match of the day. The reason why we're picking that is because when you haven't won a playoff game since 2013, that's like 8 years on.
Yes.
So we have to talk about these are the results from the other games in the NBA playoffs.
Yes, Wizards were in action against the Wizards against the 76ers ended 122-95 in favor of Philadelphia. The lead that series are 2-0 now. Ben Simmons answering critics with 22 points in that victory. The Hawks and the Knicks, that's our focus on today's show, ended 101-92 in favor of New York.
And the Jazz bouncing back.
The Jazz led by
the returnee.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan
Mitchell returning for the Jazz with 25 points in their 141-129 victory over the Memphis Grizzlies. That series is tied 1 apiece as well.
Yeah, I was quick to talk about Ja Morant that had 47 points, but his team lost on the night.
Incredible.
Incredible.
This is franchise record, but all for nothing, really. All right, let's focus on the Knicks and the Hawks. I think that was the most exciting game of the night. Cecilia, judging by the results, a very close game, unlike the other two. And for the first time in 8 years, exactly 2,923 days, the New York Knicks were able to celebrate a playoff win. Derrick Rose was the star of the show, 26 points on the night. Julius Randle shook off a miserable first half to lead a third quarter turnaround, and the Knicks beat the Hawks 101-92. Like we said, to tie the series 1 apiece. This game was all about, of course, I mean, it's very evident the reaction of Derrick Rose in that game after that very, very impressive victory. For Julius Randle, the most improved player in the NBA, struggled in the first half, 0 for 6, just 2 points. But in the second half, he found his groove a bit and was able to finish with 15 points and 12 rebounds despite a poor shooting night.
I mean, that shot from Derrick Rose right there just capture his night. I mean, that's a guy that had gone through a lot, injuries, being traded from different franchises, so to speak. I mean, Chicago Bulls, that's where he started off, but then just didn't work out. But right now, he's really back, and he's happy has been able to lead the Knicks to, a playoff win for the first time. 26 points coming off the bench. So it's a huge one for Derrick this morning. Let's take reactions coming from both teams.
I try to stay in the moment, try to stay present. Every time they say that you think about the past or think about the future, you're going into default mode. So I try to stay mindful of where I'm at. I'm just happy that I'm feeling good. We got the win, and I played a lot differently than I did in the first game, with making sure I got into the ball whenever he passed half court. And just try to play with urgency, because I didn't see that last game. I was disappointed in myself.
I never doubted. Obviously, throughout the game, there's going to be frustrations, but who we are as a team, we're never going to doubt. whether we can win a game or not. A lot of guys came in the locker room and have and said we've been in this position before, and we have. So it's just up to us to change at our intensity level, went to another level, and we were able to pull out the win.
I mean, we came out, played hard, had a really good defensive scheme, great game plan, and just couldn't find a way to break their run late in that game. So credit to them for making plays late in the game. I'm always going to continue to do what I do, and it's just, try to make the right reads every play, every possession, and just try to help put my team in the best position, and that's all I can focus on. If we do that, I think we'll be in a good position.
Be in a good position. Next game, we'll see if they can, take it to 2-1 or maybe going down 2-1 to the other side. I'm talking about Trae Young under 90. Got some performance, but then it just wasn't in the half 30 under 9. But that wasn't enough for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, game 3 is on Friday night
yes.
In Atlanta, and the Hawks will have the opportunity to welcome a full capacity crowd. So that should play a role in that game against the New York Knicks. Before we leave the playoffs, let's quickly talk about the top performers, all the guys that stood out. I don't think this has ever happened before because all the guys on this list ended up on the losing side. Bradley Beal, first off, 33 points, 4 rebounds and 3 assists, but the Wizards lost their second game against the 76ers. Ja Morant, franchise record, 47 points for the Memphis Grizzlies in their own loss against the Utah Jazz, 47-4-7. And last but not the least is Trae Young, 30, just the 1 rebound and 7 assists on the night for the Hawks.
That's why it's important for the players to step up. Maybe Westbrook could have helped Bradley Beal, but he finished with 10 points, 11 and 6 rebounds before rolled his ankle. Final 10 minutes, he was off. Of course, on his way, someone put popcorn on him, and he didn't take it lightly. They had to restrain him from, attacking the fan. But at the end of the day, it's really not good for some of these fans because these players are human. They're doing their job, and so just encourage them the best way you can, not train popcorn. Really, really bad.
Yeah, the NBA have to do
a whole lot.
A better job in protecting these players. They are the actors. They're so important, and can't afford to do a mess about with them like that.
And there's a hashtag going on now, which is protect the players. So that particular fan needs to be fished out so that, he can be taught a lesson, and then others will take a cue from that. That's what I think should happen.
Of course, they'll fish him. Come on, it's the NBA. They know all these guys.
Dig him out.
They know how to handle these situations. Okay. We're still talking basketball, but we're coming to Africa and talk about the Basketball Africa League. Some people are no longer following because the Rivers Hoopers are out of the competition.
And also, J. Cole is going back to the U.S. for family reasons because his contract with Patriots is all over.
Yeah, so... but the games are still ongoing. We're still in the quarterfinals. We have a couple of semifinalists already. Let's take a look at the results from yesterday. That is the 2 quarterfinal matches that were played yesterday. Zamalek expectedly got the job done against FAP. Very convincing victory, 82-53, and that was enough for them to get into the Final Four. Petro de Luanda were also in action. This was a lot closer, 79-75 against AS Salis. So Zamalek and Petro are through to the semifinals, the Final Four of the Basketball Africa League. Today,
Angola and Egypt.
All the games will continue. USM favorites for a lot of people. They're taking on AS Douanes and Patriots. BBC, that's a host nation, would take on Ferro Viro. So those, at the end of today, we'll get to see a final semifinals line up. All right, Cecilia already mentioned it. Story coming out of Kigali, Rwanda is the multi-platinum rapper and player for Patriots BBC, Jermaine Cole, has ended his stint with the Patriots basketball club and has left Rwanda because of a family obligation. Jermaine Cole had 5 points, 3 assists and 5 rebounds in 45 minutes of the 3 games played in the group stage. Of course, the expectation was that the Grammy Award-winning rapper would play 3 to 6 games. He's played 3 already, and he can afford to go back to America.
Yeah,
And Cecilia, this is just coming a couple of days after that guy, Stoglin, said his presence
is
was
disrespectful.
So coincidence?
No,
this is
it's
all
hard
planned
to
all
say.
along.
I
It's
don't
hard
know,
to say.
but according to what I read from the sources is the fact that
Yeah.
ESPN, it was the fact that he signed a contract with them that he can leave, anytime after the group,
so why
group
is it?
stage. So group games are over,
Right.
so he could
So it's a
leave.
coincidence then?
So whatever it is, but J. Cole will not be, will not be there anymore.
chance
Rivers
to
Supers
do
are not there. So and then Nigerians will definitely be losing interest.
Yeah.
Of course, the Americans who want to watch J. Cole play
course.
basketball will be losing interest.
Yeah.
But hey, we still have, big teams that are still in Basketball Africa League. It's the very first, it's the maiden edition, it's the inaugural edition. So you guys can sit tune in and watch some fantastic basketball, right?
Absolutely, Cecilia.
Okay, because we are rooting for USM. I mean, they took
Really?
us, so they should just win it. The Tunisian national team, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Austin Okonakwan will be joining us this morning. Of course, we'll be reflecting of the China's International Kids Cup. For the second year in a row, we can have it simply because of what, COVID happened, and you know how hard it can be for you to get kids together to play football. Yes, adult is easier, but for kids, parents releasing them, schools across, is kind of hard. But Austin is joining us this morning from London. Austin, how are you doing?
Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo. It's good to be on the show.
It's great to have you, Austin. Of course, I know you're a champion of the beat to talk about the Kids Cup, but it's not. I mean, it's not great to talk about, but I know we're still going to do that. But before we get to the Kids Cup, quickly, Austin, your thoughts generally on the Basketball Africa League, what you've seen so far. We're down to the final. Some teams have qualified for the semifinals already.
Yeah, it's looking good since Zamalek and Petro in there. A testament of the sort of work that those countries have done to their basketball, particularly Zamalek. It will be good to see the Patriots, get into the mix also, just to keep the vibes going right there at the Basketball Africa League. Hopefully, the departure of Joe Cole will not have anything on their competition because, of course, Joe Cole brought, some vibes to the team, came in and was distributing Puma gear to the player, got the media talking, got the fans rooting for the Patriots. So let's see how it's going to go and see the remaining two teams that will join Zamalek and Petro in the semifinals. Then we're going to have a real feast of basketball. But so far, I'm super excited about the Basketball Africa League and that it brought some level of new assurances to how the game should be in Africa. The basketball arena in Kigali is fantastic. The organization is beautiful. They've made it open to the media. There's accessibility. Fantastic organization. They talked about the structure. They talked about also taking it to the grassroots. So after this maiden edition, we'll now sit back. We'll take a look at it. But so far, guys, haven't you been loving the basketball?
Of course. It's been fantastic.
100%. I agree.
We're enjoying it. And of course, before we go into the Kids Cup still, let's talk about the Olympics quickly. The US is actually saying that they are in support of Japan, having plans to continue with the Olympics, despite editorials coming from Japan saying they need to cancel. People are really not happy because of the cases rising in Japan. But there's the White House Deputy Press Secretary talking, to journalists who were asking him questions because the US had a ban, this travel ban, but she was trying to clarify it wasn't a travel ban, just advisory. But let's listen to her first, then you react to this issue of this postponement of Olympics quickly.
The travel advisory is an advisory, it's not a ban. But, our position remains. It has not changed on the Olympics. We respected the decision to delay the Olympics, the Games last summer, and we understand the careful consideration that the Japanese government and the International Olympic Committee are weighing as they prepare for the Tokyo Olympics that's just coming up right around the corner. So the government of Japan has stressed that the public health remains the central priority as they plan to host the Games. Tokyo has assured us that they will keep in close contact with Washington as their plans develop. And the president proudly supports the U.S. athletes who have trained for these games and will be competing in the best traditions, if you will, of the Olympic spirit. And so America's Olympic athletes represent the very best of our determination, diversity, and teamwork.
to teamwork and support. Austin, Olympics going ahead as planned because US have actually, right now, they voiced their support for Japan. All others are calling for the postponement. This may not just hold at all.
And I'm sure when Japan turns back and see that the United States of America is giving them some backing, then they will have some hopes to go on with the Olympics. Yeah, what Karen was trying to say is that first and first, you're setting the record straight. There were no travel bans, just advisory, making sure that people do those things that they need to do to ensure safety, which is very important. The Olympics means a lot to the United States of America. Their athletes have prepared so hard. You know, this is a country where they give so much importance to sports and then, you know, talent improving. So they use the Olympics as a yardstick to judge their 4-year performance. So it'll be difficult for them not to be at the Olympics. But we've seen these things because when they get to Tokyo now and there's a little concern, the United States of America will be the first to pull out their athletes. So let's just be sure that it's proper support. Difficult times for Japan, but then again, even with the support coming from different countries, it won't do anything if people in Japan are not comfortable with having the Olympics. We've heard a public health physician the other day saying, look, it's absurd to have the Olympics. We've had someone from the ruling party saying, let's be realistic, let's call off the Olympics. So if those dissenting voices are constantly growing in Japan, then it's very, very difficult. The IOC, from their body language, they want to do it. And they have the sole power to cancel the Olympics. So the IOC wants to do it. Japan wants to do it. The United States of America supporting them now. Australia already ready forever for the Olympics. We might have it. Let's just hope COVID agrees.
That's a hope right now because even WHO also wants it to hold because of mental health and all other issues. All right, Austin, now time to talk about the Channels International Kids Cup. Today, we could have been at the Teslim Balogun Stadium, or maybe Campus Square, updates of what's going on, which school is actually ruling it, highest goal scorer, everywhere. But right now, we're just here, just trying to, nostalgic, think about what happened in the past, 2 years ago. Wow, Austin, it's been 2 years, right? It's
difficult. Like the entire yesterday, I spent my entire day thinking about the Channels International Kids Cup and the damages COVID-19 has done. And then I said to myself, yes, shame that COVID-19 is doing this. And while persons have reached out to me to say, Austin, we could have done it, we could have respected social distancing, we would have put the measures in place. I'm saying it's difficult with kids.
It's hard.
Very difficult. And if me, for instance, I would be very difficult to even let my kids go out there, at this time. So parents will be super worried. Schools wouldn't even be comfortable to come out. They just see the Europa League, see the way fans were jumping on themselves. These are adults. Yeah. So when you bring kids together, I know how many times I get them screaming, go back, go wear your shirts, go and put on your t-shirt. So sometimes if you don't have, some good love for kids, you might just be forced to do some things like it would have been very difficult. But what a fantastic story we've been telling with grassroots football development in Nigeria. This competition, arguably a sweet model, for any grassroots football development. We hope to see it again. We had season 11 and it was a fantastic, competition of discovering talents for the grassroots. We get schools involved. We see these guys come out there to let us know that they can play football. They come showcase their talent. I remember this visual we're watching, the boys from Will and Grace. They didn't get to win, but when they scored their first goal of the competition, gracious goodness, guys, come and see this celebration. And that's just what we want to put out there. We want to let them understand that sometimes, it's not just all about winning. Sometimes it's about learning. And when they come out there, they play football, they are happy, they go back to school. We still preach it to them that it's not just football, it's football and education. We're trying to build a total man. We're trying to give them all the values and benefits that can come out of, participating in sports and staying healthy. I'm building a bond with others, kids from different parts of the country. We are promoting national unity.
Okay. All right.
We love the Channels International Kids.
We love it so much,
Get out of the way and we come back.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on a short break. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. Inyobong Monday joins us now in the studio. Good morning. It's good to have you join us.
Good morning, Cecilia. Good
How you
morning,
doing?
Tayo.
Yeah.
The day after heartbreak for people at the Theatre of Dreams. Well, good to be here.
Okay, they should keep
Oh, my
dreaming
goodness
and
gracious.
we're trusting the process. Okay, someone is actually
It's up
saying
to
something right here.
us,
Well,
man.
before we talk about the
Guys.
losers and the winners, let's
Yeah.
talk about the Nigeria Professional Football League, the games that went down on Wednesday evening. It was, well, for some clubs, it was fantastic. For some, it wasn't so good. Sunshine Stars, for instance. Let's take a look at the results. Match day 23 from the Nigeria Professional Football League. Yes, Kano Pillars and Nasarawa United, it was 1-0. So Kano Pillars top of the table right now because of that. Adamawa United and Katsina Adamawa won. Wiki Tourists, Eyimba didn't have a choice than to win this game. I thought it could have been more comprehensive than this.
Well,
but
a win-
2-1,
a win
yeah,
is a
they'll
win.
take that. Kwara United and Rivers United. Rivers went away to Kwara to collect a point from them. And Dakada and Ifeanyi ended 2-1. Other results from Wednesday, you have Warrior Wolves and Lobby Stars. The Lobby Stars not looking good. They lost in Lagos. They went away to Warri to lose again. Heartland and Plateau United. Plateau went to Heartland, collect a point from there. And Sunshine Stars couldn't win at home. MFM got a point. MFM seems to be having some good run away from home recently.
Serious purple patch for MFM. I can't remember the last time they lost. They're in great form, considering how the season started for them on Monday. We're going to talk about Kano Pillars returning to the top of the table, albeit with Aqua United having a game in hand later today. But for MFM, very impressive run of form for the team, and hopefully they can sustain that momentum for the rest of the season. Quickly, your thoughts on the games that played yesterday in the NPFL. Pillars back on top. We're still waiting for Ahmed Musa's first goal. But we're here, he's been playing well. Unfortunately, we haven't gotten to see a lot of those games, though.
For footballers, it's very important that you play regularly, play consistently. And I'm glad that he's getting a run of games. Got invited to the national team again. Diabolical decision, in my opinion.
Really?
I do not understand why. But I'm happy for him. I'm happy that he's playing. I'm happy for our league that he's playing, because there were doubts that he would not have the chance to play. Maybe the league was going to be called up and all of that. But I'm glad that he's playing. Played again yesterday, and Kano Pillars slowly but surely are moving up the table. Nothing spectacular. They're getting 1-0 wins here and there at home and nicking the odd points away from them. They got 1 point over the weekend against Katsina United, and I think they're doing really, really well. Like you said, albeit Kwara United going to Abia Warriors, I'm not particularly sure Kwara will win that game. It's away from home, and Abia Warriors have been absolutely imperious at home. And you would think that Abia Warriors would have something to say about Kwara United returning to the top of the stand.
Yeah, they should, indeed. I was talking about MFM earlier, Cecilia. Austin is still with us. Austin, where are you, man? I was talking about MFM, their incredible run of form in the last month, precisely. 4 matches, 4 clean sheets, 3 wins, a draw, 6 goals scored.
Fantastic, and they've been picking points away from home. I think it's a wake-up call. The first stanza didn't go well for them, so the second stanza, they're doing all they can to, give themselves some level of respect in the league. I knew it was going to be a very difficult match for Sunshine Stars, judging by MFM's away record, and of course the way they defeated Lobby in Lagos. They showed some character on match day 22. So I know that they will go to Akure with everything that they have. Struggle continues for Sunshine Stars, but MFM showing that, look, we are a team that can actually stay. Remember, they've gone through a lot, counting from when they lost at home to Heartland. Former coach Fidelity Lechuku came, and just scattered everything that they were planning. So they lost Coach Tony Bullis, brought in a new coach. And now they're just trying to, calm down, play their football. They're a decent side, not one that you can go on to win the title, but with the level of organization, of course, with the fire and prayer that their supporters club will give.
Yeah.
That it's not just football they are playing. They also have some divine backing, going out for them. But I'm super excited about the progress MFM is making, a good model for football development in Nigeria, because we keep saying we want those private clubs to come in too. This is a club owned by a church, and they've been supporting young players who have also grown to do good things with their careers. So let's see how they will push on from this result with Sunshine Stars.
Let's see how they push on indeed. But before they return to action, games will be played today as well too in the that's on match day 23. And Aqua United will be in action. Like my guys have said in studio, they will have something to say about Pillars returning to the top of the log. But they face a very difficult away trip in Abia against the Warriors. There's also Rangers versus Jigawa Golden Stars. Austin, Mondays is not too sure Aqua United can get anything out of that game in Abia.
Aqua United showing all of the good things that they can, give to themselves to stay motivated. So this is a very big test. Now that they're no more on top of the log, they need to get a point or win this one. Abia Warriors, we know what they can do. The moment they started winning, there was no looking back. They've got a fantastic coach in Coach Kennedy, in Coach Imama Amapakabo. But Coach Kennedy Boboye, I listened to him after their goalless draw against Rangers, and he said, look, it's not a setback, that they're still going to go to Okigwe and play the offensive football that they are known for. They will go all out, try to get that win. That's what we want to see in the Nigeria Professional Football League. We want to see teams travel away from home, play good football, and if possible, get the point. So Aqua United, if you can check now, the team isn't built around anyone. Different players are beginning to see reasons to jump into it, because that's what winning does. Winning motivates everybody to stay, on top of their game. It will be good. For Rangers, the draw they got in Uyo is a good motivation for them, so they'll be looking forward to win their match today also. We should see some interesting football.
Okay, something interesting. Okay, talking about seeing interesting football and what's going on outside of it. The stories about players not being well paid. And of course, that's usually, a kind of a topical issues when it comes to Nigeria Professional Football League. And also the fact that some players are even less paid than what it's supposed to be. Now, Tijani Babangida, who happens to be the president of the Nigerian Players Union, has been talking about this. And he said that when he actually paid courtesy call to Davidson Howumi, of course, he's the incoming
LMC CEO.
So it was there right there in Enugu where they had to bring up this issue before him, what he would do to ensure that we don't have to talk about this anymore. Let's listen to Tijani talking about players' welfare.
You must come with an agent or a lawyer that can be able to protect your contract, because if you see what is happening now, half-season players will be sacked. And if you ask them where is their contract, some don't even know they have a contract. They only sign a paper. So there is time. That's why you see when we have our own that is coming in there is a lot of things that we can be able to discuss with him so that this thing cannot happen. And that is one tack that we are going to talk to him and beg him that let clubs, this is a message to all clubs, they should sign their players that they know they will use them for a year, not for 2 months or 3 months. If you sign a contract in everywhere in the world, if you are sacking a player, you call him and pay him off, or have an understanding of payment, how you're going to pay him off, and then that player will go. If you see the cases I'm having in my decks in Abuja, you are going to be very surprised, because the season is half almost finishing. About 10, I don't even can see the numbers of players that have been sacked by their clubs. Last month we have that complaint. I won't call a club, I won't call the name of a club. We have contacted LMC. At the same time, we have written a letter to the state government that the players are paid 80,000 naira, 50,000 naira, instead of the minimum wage of 150,000 naira. And we are already engaging the government, which of course the government also tell us that they didn't know. They write us back, and I can assure you that that's going to be amended, because we are also in touch with LMC about this, and we are going to be very sure, make sure that next season when we are coming, because we are coming more closer to them now, we are talking more with them, that to make sure that each and every player in the league go on with that minimum wage,
which is 150,000 naira. That's the minimum wage. That's what he's talking about. What do you think of this? Heartbreaking, right? 50,000.
We should bury our heads in the sand I feel we should bury our heads. The people who run our football should bury their heads in shame. I'm sorry. It is embarrassing. And Channel Zero has got an international audience, and we're putting this out there. That a footballer is earning 80,000 naira. 50,000 naira. And we call our league a professional league. Anywhere else in the world, the people who run our football should be resigning. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But when I hear things like this, I just sit down and ask myself, when will we get it right? When will we get it right in terms of professionalism? And I've said it time and time again, and I'm not afraid to repeat myself, that if we have to get a professional league going on, it is mightily impossible to have 20 teams who can adhere to the rules of the league. It is impossible. We need to sit back and ask ourselves, are we ready to do football business? The Honorable Minister of Sports came in and he talked about the fact that football or sports is not for recreation purposes only. Yeah. It is serious business. And if we do not take it as serious business as it is, I don't think we're making any inroads or making any improvements. And it's just sad, and I quite understand. I mean, I'm looking at Tijani Babangida, and I could look at his face, and he is frustrated. Yeah. And he's talked about the fact that he's got cases on his table where clubs are laying off players without doing the right thing. Who does that in a professional league?
Yeah, I think it's all about monitoring. I know LMCs, they've got policies, they've got strategy, they've got everything to make the league more professional. But if you don't follow up these policies and all, that's where the problem is. So follow up and get the right thing done. Austin, quickly, 30 seconds. I know you want to talk about this, but 30 seconds.
That's all you have, man.
That's all you
The law is moving the league in 30 seconds. What we've always talked about is, and I'm standing with you on Monday, I've said it over and over again. There's a club in Nigeria. The state budget for football is over 600 million naira with no return on investment. See, we should stop the jamboree. State should see football as a business. When you're giving your club chairman or your sports commissioner 500 million naira to run sports or football, see, what are the plans that government will get? Even no profit, but the same 500 million naira back. But because they get this money, some persons go use it the way they want, and players will suffer for it. And these players, they have no choice, because sometimes they are being controlled by passion. Sometimes they just want to play football. Sometimes that's the only hopes they have. So it's unfortunate, but it is what it is until we decide to start seeing sports as business in Nigeria. This will be the story.
All right, we don't want to hear stories like this anymore. Hopefully, they can do something about that next season. This season is far gone.
Don't hold your breath.
Okay, I shouldn't hold it. Now, Europa League, yes, let's talk quickly about this one. I mean, last night it was David and Goliath, right? Because
that's what it was.
Villarreal finished seventh position in the Spanish La Liga. And
also,
of course, you have United. Okay.
Carry on.
And also, you have United who finished second. And United have won how many trophies? I lost count. 20 league titles, 20 league. Then the Champions League, then Europa League. And Villarreal had never,
there you go,
ever
never been to a final. As a matter of fact,
they've never been to a final. They've never won anything trophy. And right now, you have Unai Emery, who won it with Sevilla 3 times. He went to Arsenal. Yes, he said Arsenal is a problem, because at the end of the day, he got to the final, silver. He couldn't win it. And he went to Villarreal. His won it.
Do you have to do that all the time?
League. Okay,
let's focus on the final itself.
Right? Unai Emery League.
On Monday, I mean, United disappointed.
The game.
Disappointing night. The players didn't show up at all. The big players, as a matter of fact, Pogba, Fernandes. The coach said it, right? Okay, didn't show up.
Yeah. And, okay. What do you make of the game? Which was more interesting, the game or the penalties? I enjoy the penalties more than the game.
Penalties. I've always said, I stand with Arsene Wenger. I feel that penalties is an unfair way to lose a football match. I feel it's really an unfair way to lose a football match, because, I mean, you can't go into penalties thinking, okay, we know how to take penalties a lot. I know the Germans have a very good record with penalties, but, I mean, you can't really put guarantees on that, because, I mean, it got to a point where I don't think United were preparing for a David De Gea to take a penalty. I don't think, I'm sure they would have been practicing penalties, but I don't think they would have thought that it would stretch up to a point where the goalkeeper needs to take it, because David De Gea has never been a goalkeeper who's very comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's made a lot of high-profile errors with, back passes and all of that. He's never been that guy who, with the ball at his feet, is a great guy. But he's a top goalkeeper, and I can't really put anything on him. I would put something on the manager, in my opinion. And I agree with Tyre that the big players didn't turn up on the night, but I feel that the United didn't go into this game with the sort of identity as favourites as they should have gone into. United had only one or two shots on target. Two shots on target.
Yeah, one was a goal.
And if you play 120 minutes and have only 2 shots on target, for a club like United, with people like Bruno Fernandes and Pogba on the pitch, and Edinson, Cavani and Rashford, and Mason Greenwood, that's not good enough. I think United didn't play with the intensity that they should have played. Credit to Villarreal, by the way. I thought they played really well. Pau Torres in defense was outstanding. What's his name now? The Spanish defender, Raul
Albiol, the veteran, was cutting everything out.
He's 36, 37.
Yeah.
He was outstanding as well. So credit to Villarreal for the way they played. I thought Villarreal really missed Samuel Chukwueze.
They did.
I thought they really missed the space up front.
The guy that played in that position, you hear me? Something like that, didn't really cover himself.
Exactly. And when you look at the way Villarreal played, clearly Villarreal went into the game on things knowing United clearly would dominate possession.
They've got better players.
They've got better players. They're going to keep the ball for longer spells. But if they had a Chukwueze up front, because I thought the United got desperate a few times and they were piling pressure, they were fully going at Villarreal, and Villarreal won the ball in very strategic places, and they just didn't have the pace to hit on the counter, and that's where Samuel Chukwueze comes in. But credit to Villarreal. I thought they stayed in the game. They were very solid. They had the luck of going in front and considered that equalizer, but they stayed in the game. They shut out United. They made sure United didn't have. I didn't see Bruno Fernandes in that game.
Yeah, he was being caught up. I mean, like 3 players were always on Cavani. Cavani couldn't even move most of the times. I mean,
it's clearly, and I mean, Unai Emery, you can call him the Europa League coach all you want, but I thought he got his tactics spot on the night. Because when you go into games like that, finals are never going to be very explosive.
They play to be won.
Exactly. You play to win. You don't play to the gallery. And whatever system suits you, you go with it as a manager. And it was clear that they didn't allow Bruno Fernandes because
on the
Bruno
ball.
Fernandes dictates the pace of the game for United.
Yes.
And if he's not getting a lot on the ball and he gets on the ball and there are 3 people around him, people like Cavani was making runs, but the service was not coming.
Also frustrated at the time.
He was really screaming his head off. The service was not coming. So credit to Villarreal and congratulations to them. But monkey on the back of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. No matter how well you do as a manager, you're going to be judged with trophies. Look at Mauricio Pochettino, top manager in my opinion. Absolutely sound guy. But he's not winning trophies. And if you're not winning trophies, I'm sorry, what are you going to tell your grandchildren?
Definitely.
That you played good football?
Yeah. There'll be question marks definitely surrounding Solskjaer and all those other managers that haven't really gone out to win trophies for their clubs. But we're going to bring Austin into this after we get the post-match thoughts of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Obviously, I was very disappointed that his guys did not show up last night.
Season, of course. And that's the fine margins in football. Sometimes, one kick can define a season as a good one or as a successful one, and one kick says it's not. And improvement, second in the league. That's probably no one expected us to be second in the league after the start we had, after the lack of pre-season we had. But the boys have been really, really good, and but just came up short tonight, unfortunately, and that's on penalties, which we could have been sat here saying it's a successful season after the same game. So, but trophies matter, and that's what matters at this club. So, no is a short answer. Disappointment is a worse feeling. These are the moments you remember the most in your career as a player, as a manager. And there's 2 ways. You can feel sorry for yourself and go on holiday and don't do anything about it, or you can go home and do something about it and come back even better, stronger, more hungry.
How was the game?
Very happy. It's exceptionally good because for us, poor people in a small city of 50,000 people, it's unbelievable to be European champions and just playing as nicely, as sportively. And we are really out of mind. It's something that will never happen again in a lot of years.
After 1.5 years, because of COVID, it was really nice experience, and hopefully it will be going well in the future.
It's a great feeling to be here, and it's good after the pandemic that we can watch the show live. My first was good, was really good. I'm really sad because Manchester lost. But generally my feelings are very good.
We are sad, we were supporting United, but it was amazing game, great experience. Like we are happy.
Was amazing tonight, I think.
Yeah, we're really happy that this game was in Poland, so we actually could watch it. Like, it's great experience for Polish people to have a chance to watch such an incredible game. So
unbelievable.
So we are sad for the result, but we are happy for the game.
Of course, a bittersweet experience for Manchester United fans. The wait goes on. It's 4 years now, still waiting for a trophy. The last one that they won was under Jose Mourinho in 2017. And even that trophy, a lot of United fans tried to belittle it. So it was a bit funny seeing them willing their team on to try and win the same trophy yesterday.
If you haven't won since how many years? So whatever, even if it's a mug, you want to win. Okay, Austin, quickly, your reaction on Manchester United and Villarreal. Yes, we're all rooting for Chukwueze because he plays for Villarreal, and we got to wish. It seems Nigerian players just have this luck. I mean, Asisa Toshola, Kelechi Iheanacho, Ndidi, all of them, Chukwueze joining them. Once their clubs are in the final, they win games.
Yeah, it's been quite a good year for some Super Eagles players, and this is what we want. I mean, because I will represent the green, white, green. But for Manchester United and Sevilla, I think football just wanted it to go that way, you know, because if you look at the vibes from that game, the way Villarreal, you know, approached the game from the start, even see the penalties each time. And again, I was going to say, the moment I saw that the penalties was going to be behind the fans of Villarreal, I said no, because they were going to keep, you know, yelling and disturbing Manchester United players. So look, it's football, guys, and though I love Oddity, I was always saying that Manchester United showing the vibes and the look and feel to win. Villarreal just needed to win that title because it's a fantastic story. City of about 50,000 people just close to Valencia. It will do a lot for those people. I saw the fans crying. It's beautiful. Rashford is super disappointed with the way they lost it. He was saying that people are saying Manchester United are going down, blah, 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 but I know they will get back up. They will fight. And Paul Scholes said, look, it's a good talk, but you got to stop talking. We want to see action. I think that's what United should look forward to doing next. You know, put a little bit of action into their game and start winning. But look, congratulations to Villarreal. Nothing out of this victory. They fought for it and they got it.
Okay, they fought for it and they got it. Austin, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Always a delight to join you guys, talk sports. Shout out to everyone watching. Yobon, good to see you again. Let's do this again.
All right.
All right. You don't have a choice. Okay.
Okay. Cecilia, the tweets are just coming in droves, and I haven't seen Noble Flyman just yet. So make sure you send your tweet before the day on the show is over. But Cecilia, let's take the ones we have.
Okay. Start with the educator. It says, guys, thanks for shining the light on abnormalities in the NPFL. Please, let's start naming names. Call out the clubs and persons responsible for player abuse. That's what it is. Who are the clubs? Who are the clubs? You just want to know. Well, congratulating Villarreal for winning. Ajibade Joe says Nigerian Professional Football League may never get 150,000 minimum wage because the clubs are owned by the state government, who depends solely on the FG for funds to run their state. Okay, and Osaga Ehis Emmanuel says, Man United need world-class coach. I mean, a trophy-winning coach like, what? Like Henry Cantona, or what's he saying there?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a mix-up there, but we get a message.
Like, Solskjaer cannot take Man United to where they should be. Okay, you got something from Oladipo, Richard?
Yeah, Oladipo, Richard, let's face the facts. The state's government should have no business running clubs in Nigeria, but that's what it is now, just a couple of privately owned clubs in the country. Yeah, so thank you for your message as well. Chimobi Victor, I am very happy for our Nigerian brother Samuel Chukwueze for that victory against Manchester United. Our attention is now on our Nigerian coach, Pep Oluwasegun Chinedu. Okay, what's that about?
Wait,
come on, man. Come on, where's that come from? It's not Nigerian. Chimobi, thank you for your message. Anyways, blessed Udom. I told my Manchester United friends that Destiny and VAR aren't the same. So congrats to Samuel Chukwueze, and also for Aqua United, they're going to go for victory later today against Abia Warriors.
Okay, Pat says that De Gea has proven how unuseful he has become in recent times. He couldn't touch a ball out of 10 penalties and played a stake. Sell him already. Okay. All right, sell him already.
Is that being harsh on the
Yeah, very harsh. Incredibly very harsh. I don't think he could have done anything about the penalties because, I mean, they were very beautifully struck penalties. And for his missed penalties, I don't think anyone can genuinely blame a goalkeeper for missing a penalty.
I've seen strikers.
I've seen strikers kick worse penalties than that. I've seen strikers. I mean, Sergio Aguero, typical. And so I think it's very harsh on David here. You can't put it on him.
Okay, let's take the last one from Loafa. It says, by winning Wiki Tourist, Fatah Shaw may have salvaged his job. Man United's inability to take their chances within regular time cost them the trophy. Okay, they didn't have the chances. They were not coming.
Cecilia, we've got to go. I'm very disappointed in Noble Flyerman not showing up after showing up all week and bragging about United.
Talking
we're going to talking talk.
He needs a hug.
Now it's nowhere to be seen.
If you have a United fan around, you just keep.
Oh my goodness! Humble pie.
Complete sports. I'll start with this one. Ian Achol, Leicester will bounce back stronger. Of course, disappointed to miss UCL Sports. Says winning the FA Cup was a dream. Yeah, everyone will love that. All I know, Fulham's relegation was so painful. Bere's injury gives Nigeria hope. Okay, Onuachu admits uncertainty over Genk future. And of course, we heard the chairman of the club talking the other time.
Of course, if there's enough satisfactory offer comes in, Onuachu will be gone from Belgium.
Okay.
Let's go to Sporting Life. Bernardo Silva lavishes praises on Guardiola. Champions League final. Chelsea sent back 800 unsold tickets. Real Madrid Santiago Bernabeu catches fire. I'm looking for this interesting story. Quick one on Schalke. Conte leaving Inter by mutual consent after leading them to the first title in 11 years.
I hear it's something about transfers and all of that, and the club wants to sell them. Conte wants to buy. Conte wants to buy. So there's the conundrum with finances at the club. It's quite sad because it looks like Inter might lose a few players there. Lukaku, maybe Ashraf Hakimi, and a few other players who really love the manager. So I don't know where Inter are going with this, and I don't know who's taking that job, but it is a very, very difficult job at the moment.
We hear Simeone Inzaghi is the favourite to replace Conte.
Simeone Inzaghi. Okay, Sporting Sun is the last one. Chukwueze's Villarreal are champions, of course, beat United 11-10 on penalties. And Liverpool rejects 2.5 billion Awoniyi beat. Okay, that's interesting.
What do they want to do with him?
Okay, maybe they want more money for him. They want more money.
Probably.
I think so.
Fair enough.
All right. Ini, thank you so much for coming on the program.
Appreciate your time. Thank you for watching as well. Enjoy the rest of your day. I am Tayo Salah.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Bye for now.